Former Vice President and 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has strongly condemned the arrest and detention of lawyer and human rights advocate Dele Farotimi, labeling it as a calculated attempt by the Tinubu administration to stifle fundamental human rights to free expression. In a statement issued on Monday, Atiku described Farotimi's arrest as a grim throwback to the oppressive era of military rule, where dissent was systematically crushed. He decried the involvement of law enforcement in what he termed a civil matter of defamation, calling it an overreach of unimaginable proportions. Atiku accused the administration of pursuing an insidious agenda to intimidate critics and silence opposing voices. He warned that such actions were eroding democratic principles and fostering one-party state, urging the government to respect constitutionally enshrined rights to free speech and association. He said, "The recent arrest of Dele Farotimi underscores a troubling trend by this administration to intimidate citizens and the press, particularly those critical of the regime. These actions are a direct contradiction to the principles of democracy and serve only to pave the way for authoritarian rule." The former vice president highlighted his personal experience as an example of appropriate legal redress, recalling that in 2019 he pursued a court case against an individual who defamed him rather than involving the police to settle scores. Freedom of speech and association are not privileges but rights guaranteed by the Constitution. If anyone feels wronged by defamatory words, the courts are the proper venue for resolution and not the police, he emphasized. Calling for Farotimi's immediate and unconditional release, Atiku urged the Tinubu administration to refrain from weaponizing law enforcement agencies for political vendettas. Chief Loveday, what do you make of this statement?
Well, the Constitution has given us the right to freedom of speech, right to freedom of movement, right to freedom of worship, and right to several things, right to life, right to fair hearing, and so forth and so on. But every right that you have has some limitations. Otherwise, because I have the freedom of movement, does not guarantee me the right to take up a journey and I begin to move to government house or to Aso Rock. I will be resisted because I have the right to worship as a Christian or whatever. Then I see where the traditional worshippers are doing their thing. Then I carry my Bible and carry my olive oil, whatever, and I run into them. Whatever I see, I take. Or I say I have a freedom of speech. Then I will come to I say, Lauretia, you are a thief, you are this, you are that. You will take me up on that. So I am not in support of government gagging any media or gagging anybody or stopping anybody from expressing his views, just like I'm talking here today. But if I sit down in your studio here today and make certain comments here, perhaps before I leave the studio, SSS will, surround me here to come and explain more. So I do not know the full content of what Dele Farotimi said, why the security agents are after him. But because he's a Nigerian, because he has the right to freedom of speech, and the Constitution allows him to be arrested and also give him the right of bail and to defend himself for any prosecution. So if he's been arrested, charged for any kind of offense, then the law should take its course. He should be able to defend himself. But if the government is doing this because the man is trying to express his right, express his views over public issues and have not deformed anybody's character or government character and it's been done, I will just Atiku to condemn it. But in all, what I'm trying to say here now is that, you see, Atiku is an opposition leader in Nigeria today. Atiku is doing that which an opposition can do or will do anywhere all over the world. so many things that this government has done that perhaps the other way, you will not see him talk. But this one, he's trying to see whether he can score any political point here now. He's cashing in it so that he can begin to draw sympathy against Ahmed Bola Tinubu administration for himself or for position, so that they can catch him through there to discredit Tinubu's administration. That's the only thing Atiku is trying to do here. Otherwise, there are several things that are happening both in the south, in the north. Atiku has been quiet. He hasn't said anything.
Are you saying he's being selective about issues he reacts to?
Of course, yes.
Are you expecting him to react on everything? Has P2B been reacting on every single thing that has happened?
We are talking about Atiku here now. Do you know that P2B was on social media last week or early this week commending the federal government for reviving Port Harcourt refinery? Are you aware of that? Did Atiku come out to? Did Atiku say anything about it? Atiku didn't commend the federal government for reviving Port Harcourt refinery. So P2B is also is one of the serious critics of this administration. But he came up and said, for you to have done this, I commend you. I commend the NPC Limited for having done what they have done so far. P2B did that.
Atiku didn't do that.
All
so
right.
Atiku is only playing politics.
All right. Now,
I am not in support that any Nigerian should suffer for saying or for speaking against the government in any manner. I'm not against that. But I'm talking about the motive of Atiku now. Atiku is only playing politics. He's only trying to see how he can discredit Bola Tinubu's administration.
Okay, now Dele Farotimi was arrested for cyberbullying and defamation of character. That was what he was arrested for.
Defamation of character is an offense in Nigeria.
Is it a criminal offense?
It's a criminal offense.
Or a civil offense?
It's a criminal offense. That is where and why, if I deform your character, you can go to court and charge me for character assassination and maybe ask me to pay you some damages.
If you are paying damages, then it's a civil matter.
Well,
if it's a criminal matter, then you can go to prison.
You can go to prison if
you can be given the option to pay damages, or you go to prison.
If you say pay damages, then it's civil. That's where you can now push for enforcement of your fundamental human rights.
Then if you don't do that, if you're unable to do that, what happens?
Well, I'm telling you what it is. Do you understand? Now, in this situation now, for example, Dele Farotimi, as we speak, is now in prison, and he has been arraigned immediately. He's in prison, and he was given December 10.
He is incarcerated. He has not been convicted. He is only in correctional center.
Correctional center is another word for prison. Don't soft-pedal it. It is what it is.
That you are in correctional center or you are in prison does not mean that you have been convicted.
We are saying the same thing. Is he in prison or not? Pending December 10.
Several persons has been in prison, and in fact, several persons has assumed office from prison. The former governor of Abia State was incarcerated. Theodoji was incarcerated, and they took him from there to come and take oath of office as governor of Abia State. You're not aware? Several other persons, even in River State here, some persons have been brought out from prison here to come and assume office.
Now, what we are looking at now is not the persons. What we are looking at is the implication of an action. And in this instance, regardless of the person and the motive behind the call or the accusation of Atiku, Atiku is saying that this action is tantamount to suppressing free speech.
We are saying the same thing.
Now, are we in a system where, you have freedom of speech, like they usually say? There is freedom of speech, but the problem is freedom after the speech.
Do you know thank you. You see, you have come to my point now.
No, I am asking you a question.
You see, I said here when I introduced, when I made my initial speech.
Yes.
I said the Constitution has granted us the right for freedom of speech and every other freedom, including worship, including movement, but that there are limitations in these our freedoms, because I have freedom of movement does not guarantee me the power to move from here. Even in your own house, your bedroom, I come to your house to visit you. I may not just walk through because I have freedom of movement. I cannot. If I do that, you may sue me for interfering or trespass. So there are things I will also say in the name of.
Is trespass a criminal offense?
I'm not a lawyer, so I cannot interpret that.
Matter?
I cannot interpret that. But if
you're able to interpret
by the time police come for you, you ask them whether it is a criminal offense or a civil matter.
But you are able to interpret that in the case of Dele Farotimi.
See, you can only talk about the consequences of the offenses, the weight of punishment. That the punishment for trespass is different from the punishment for arson, murder, assault, conspiracy, and some other offenses.
Yes.
Once you are defending a matter, once you are alleged to have committed one offense or the other, it is you are defending a criminal matter. But criminal matters are in different levels. I stand to be corrected. I'm not a lawyer. That's the caveat I'm putting here.
I'm listening to you.
That's the caveat I'm putting here.
Yes,
but what I'm trying to say here now is that this man that has Dele Farotimi, I hope I got the name right.
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Has been arrested for defamation. Thank you. But I'm saying that if he is being intimidated for having been outspoken, I condemn it totally. Because we should have the right to express our views as Nigerians.
All right.
But I will be very surprised if that is the case, because in this Bola Tinubu administration, he is one of the most abused presidents before and during.
Jonathan.
I mean,
more than Goodluck Jonathan.
Listen. This is
more than Goodluck Jonathan.
This is my view.
All right,
this is my view.
Go ahead.
Before and during, now that he's president, I don't think that anybody has been abused as Ahmed Bola Tinubu has been abused.
All right, very well.
To the extent that people even release music that suggests that hand the shake, leg the shake, all those things. So if Bola Tinubu is a vindictive person, maybe by now 1 or 2 persons would have been incarcerated.
All right, Chief Loveday.
So let us wait and hear the reason, the actual reason why this man is being arrested.
All right, very well. Thank you so much, Chief Loveday.